how have you been able to, measure some of the effectivenesses that are going on within your facility? If everybody's doing more and they still have all these things, are you still measuring, the effectiveness of it? Before you had the processes in place where, when everything was good, and you were able to know, okay, I know that we're operating at this type of efficiency. I have these people taking care of these things. What have you done to either adjust for it or maybe not even adjust for it? How has been your approach to that?
When we consolidated some of our lines because of the shorter running times, we kind of treat it, not in the engineering department, but on the production floor. They'll move some people from one line to another, and we anticipate that we do X amount of cross-training. However, you get the situation where once in a while there's a new employee quite didn't understand the SOP, the standard operating procedure, or an employee that's been moved from one department to another. The production supervisors are taking a greater stand with it. However, the engineering department, they've been doing the same thing. They're built to react to that situation, whether it's the person or the piece of machinery, because in our industry we're working with a live product. Once it's mixed, it has to get from point A to point B in a certain amount of time. After the product is baked, we're a little bit more flexible. The engineering department is very flexible because they complement each other. The younger folks, the rookies, so to speak, will go on the calls, the trouble calls with the veterans, what we call the A-class mechanics or the journeyman mechanics. We're also built like a baseball team, so to speak. We'll have very, very strong machinists on each shift. We'll have very, very strong troubleshooting PLC people, because nowadays all the equipment is PLC driven. We'll have your basic strong welding department. So we have a balance on each shift that can go. It could be an electrical problem with the machine.
Physical breakdown.
Breakdown of some kind, mechanical, electrical, and that balance on each team. And so the engineering department still remains pretty flexible. They'll know, well, there's a new guy on the line today. Let's stay a little closer to them and help them out, and actually focusing on knowing this is going to happen. The people that are actually assigned the maintenance of the machines on the down days will spend a little more time with this anticipated new person to get them into the field. They might run it on the down day to give a touch of what's going to be happening before the live product hits. So yes, there is a challenge, but we think we have it under control.
In your case, I would think some lines that you shut down, that really gives you an opportunity to work on those lines during normal working hours instead of working on overtime, at night or on a Saturday or Sunday. You could do it during the week.
Which also affected the outside contractors that I talked about before, because the only time you can bring them in is after hours, triple time, Saturday, Sundays, and of course this
triple time. I never heard of that one.
I've never heard of that. Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Yeah.
I strongly agree with cross-training and teamwork. In healthcare, we have a philosophy to be an owner versus a renter. Give you an example. The security, the maintenance, they pick up trash when they see it on the corridor, and the security would do some testing of the fire alarm system and the emergency lighting, battery backup.
Yeah.
So we kind of help each other. We distribute the responsibility. We can work smoothly, and we have the same goal, and that is saving lives of patients.
I find it really interesting that here's three completely different industries, and all three of you have such strong similarities here, because you've got, each of you have a lot of people working under you, and yet you've been able to maintain calmness. You've been able to get these people who would very quickly and easily would be all over each other. I'm going to, I don't want you here anymore because that's how it's going to secure me. But you've been able to maintain their effectiveness. You've been able to maintain their teamwork. You have them cross-training, teaching each other. What do you think you're doing that is right? Because this is, you look at it and say, well, this is just the way, I do business. But certainly with all the different kind of companies that are out there, that's not necessarily commonplace. You guys are more unique here than the norm.
Well, that's why I invited them.
Well, the advantage of healthcare, we have a mission, we have a higher calling, and that's what we preach to our staff. We are saving lives, and you're not just a plumber. You're saving lives by reducing infection control and reducing the downtime. Because in a hospital you need 24/7 operation. You can't disrupt the operating rooms. The critical care areas. So you need to maintain those facilities, those utilities.
So the hospital has gone about it by saying it doesn't make a difference who you are with, and what your responsibilities are. We all are still working towards the same goal.
The same goal.
So if you're a doctor or a nurse or maintenance worker, it doesn't make a difference.
Right.
You're all yet equal in our
Yes.
eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't think for me I don't think it has anything to do with me. I think it's the people, it's the guys that are there every day. It's the electricians working with the engineers, working with the plumbers, and it's the teamwork. It's the idea of one common goal.
Right.
Whether it be, we don't, on my side of campus we don't have the hospital. The west side has the hospital, so obviously I can relate to what you're talking about when you talk about saving lives. I mean, for us we want to provide an environment that's safe for the students, where they're able to learn. It's not too hot, it's not too cold. We don't have problems with the elevators. People are able to run their experiments for their research. So in that aspect, I understand the saving lives, because they do a lot of really good work at the university. But it's the guys working together to make everything keep going.
But how do you think you've gotten them to that place? Because even though you're still getting all these different personalities, all these different talents together, how have you been able to get them to blend, where nobody's threatened, everybody's going, hey, you need help over here? No problem. You know what, I'll be there in a half an hour, I have to just finish this up.
I just think it's more their work ethic, that they see what's happening in the economy today, and they know that this is how we have to do it. That we don't have a choice, that we would love to have 15 more guys. I mean, on paper that's how many we need, but we realize it's not going to happen. That we have to do the things that we need to do in order to be successful at our job. You have to have pride in your job, and the people have pride, and they're happy to be working.
Sure.
We're lucky to be working.
Okay.
I think that says a lot.
But it is organizational though. But I don't think it's one person. I think it starts at the top, from the president or the chancellor down to the vice chancellors. I mean, because they bring their people in and they talk to us and they say, hey, we understand, because they do understand. We talk about what we need to accomplish, and in that sense we do have a mission. The same way you do.